Welcome everyone to the 300th video on Team YukiOh's channel and one of the very last I'm going to record. This video is going to be the top 5, same as I did last year, except for there's now 7 lists, so it should be called the top 7, top 5? Or top 5, top 7, I guess? But we'll just call it the same thing because it's easier. So the list I have this year is going to be going through Pokemon related things and Yu-Gi-Oh related things. They're the two I've added. We've got books, which I just forgot last year, anime, songs, video games, and YouTubers. And pretty much just going to go through all of my favourite, I guess, top 5 of the year. They won't all have necessarily come out this year, so bear with that. But without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with books, shall we? Number 5 on my list is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal and 5D's manga series. Now, I know they're both technically different books, but I've put them both on the same list because they're kind of very similar. Now, with the actual animes, I prefer 5Ds to Zexal, but with the mangas, I think it's the other way around. Now, the 5D series is written by Masahiro Hikokubo, I believe. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. But it doesn't stay very loyal to the actual series. I mean, you've got the Signer Dragons, but they've got some weird name I can't even remember. And they keep talking about sense, something that everyone seems to have that happens when they duel or something. And I mean, it makes sense. I get it while I'm reading it, but if you ask me to tell you the story of it, I really couldn't. It's a bit confusing. With the Zexal manga, it's not following the same storyline where, you know, Yuma and Astral, it's still got Yuma and Astral, whatever, but they're not going in the same places and doing the same things they do in the anime, but it's still following the same theme of Astral's lost his memories and needs numbers to regain them. And so they're going out getting different numbers from the ones in the anime, like number 50 and number 22, which don't appear in the anime at all, unless they do in bits I haven't seen or are going to. But yeah, they're a really good read actually. Obviously, with the new Yu-Gi-Oh mangas, you get a promo card with it as well, which if you lived in America, you're lucky and you get to actually use it. But they're still pretty cool, like collector's items anyway. And when they do finally become legal, I'll have ultra rare prints, whereas everyone else will have crappy tin supers like Black Ship, which is pretty cool. But I really like reading them. I've got to be honest, I do much prefer reading the Zex one, but I've put the 5Ds one as I guess as kind of a shout out. Number 4 on my list is another manga that goes by the name of Magi, or Magi, however you want to say it. It's a manga that's actually about Aladdin. I'm sure all of you know the story of Aladdin and Alibaba from the Disney movies and old tales and stuff. But I think that the way the writer Shinobu Otaka, I think it is, again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing anything, the way that she's done it, it's very, I don't know, I can't really explain it. It's kind of taking a very artistic license on it, shall we say. But I am really enjoying it. I haven't read much into it yet. I only have the first 2 books, but I don't actually know if there are even more than 2 books at the moment. Maybe she hasn't written yet, but whatever. So yeah, it's a pretty enjoyable read. If you like manga and are looking for something new, I recommend checking out Magi. Number 3 on my list is the Harry Potter series. Now, obviously, I read the Harry Potter series ages ago, back when they first came out. But this year, I've reread all 7 of the books. It's the first time I've reread them all since actually seeing the movies, because I obviously watched the movies after the books. And it's only really after you read the books again after watching the movie. I mean, the movies are great. Don't get me wrong. I love the Harry Potter films. But it's only after you read the books again you realise how good the books are and how much more detail there are in the books than there are in the films. If you just watch the films and never read the books, you will never understand the full capacity of Harry Potter's world, I suppose. But it's obviously, most of you have probably already read them, and you already know it's a good read, so it's not like I need to recommend them. But they did make 3rd place on my list. Number 2 on my list is going back to another manga. It's the Full Metal Alchemist series. I don't know how many of you have actually read it, but my god, is it a good series to read. I think I'd say I prefer it to the anime. Now, I still haven't watched much of Brotherhood. I did start it this year. I got a couple of episodes in. I got really bored. I prefer the original one, to be honest. But hey, I'm not judging it yet until I've seen more of it. But the manga is following along the same line as Brotherhood, apparently. Again, I don't actually know. So it's a very different story to what I've seen in the Full Metal anime that I've seen. So to me, it's a completely different story, and it's really well written. It's really nicely drawn as well. The artist Hiromu. Alright, give me a second. Hiromu Arakawa. Pretty sure I have this one right. She's done a pretty awesome job on it. And the thing I like with the manga in it, because obviously I assume they originally came from the Shonen Jump magazine, the little snippets, like the comedy skits, are actually kept in the book, like at the end of each chapter, and they're always really fun to read as well. So I'm really enjoying them at the moment. I'm just gonna keep reading them. They'll probably make my book list of next year as well, assuming I do one. I'm not sure yet, but I'll have to hold a note to that one. Now, number one on my list should be pretty obvious, and that's The Hunger Games. I don't actually know if all the books come out this year, but I read them all this year, so I started reading them in January, actually. So yeah, it literally was at the start of the year. I read the first two by February, and then I read the third one at some point in the middle of the year. But if you've read the Hunger Games books, you know how good they are. I don't need to tell you how good they are. I mean, maybe it's not the best written in the world, but like in the first book, I noticed a couple of errors. But obviously, Susan Collins got better over writing all three of them, and they are some of the best books I have. I'm not just saying this, a lot of people jump on hype and just say, "Oh, I really like this thing," and they haven't actually really what. For example, the movies. I've not seen them. Loads of people hyping out Hunger Games movies. I've not seen any of them, and I don't plan on until all of them are out, and then I probably will. And they might be good, they might not, but I'll always prefer the book. I always prefer the book, except with Lord of the Rings. Actually, I did prefer the films to that in the book. The Lord of the Rings books are so boring. But yeah, I really shouldn't need to tell you how awesome the Hunger Games books are, or why they've made my top spot on this list. Earlier on, I mentioned the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, so I think it's time to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh. And now, number 5 on my list of Yu-Gi-Oh related things is the Titan Over Challenge. All of you who have obviously been subscribed to my channel this year should know what it is. If you haven't seen it, fair enough, I don't blame you. They're quite long videos. You can't just skip to 10-20 minutes in and it'll get to the duel. You don't have to watch the deck building. Pretty much it's a challenge that me and my friend Reesor, the Titan Over, came up with, where we go on the wiki, we pick 3 random pages on there, and we keep going until we get 3 different cards. We have to build a deck themed around those 3 cards. And it's such a fun challenge, we duel against each other, and whoever wins obviously wins that round. There were some bad times though. There are always some bad times. Very bad times. Worse than that. Yeah, there was that one too. But past all that, it was a really fun challenge. It's quite funny as well. My favourite one was the one where Reese got Graceful Charity and was so happy to have a banned card. And I had an anime card called Sad Story that negated the effect of all spell cards. And I played it and he was like, "Why can't I play this Graceful Charity?" I was just laughing. I was just sitting there laughing. It was so funny. But yeah, number 5 on my list is the Titan Over Challenge. 4th place on my Yu-Gi-Oh list is Ghostricks. Now everyone knows Ghostricks. Well, everyone who knows Yu-Gi-Oh things. Of course, if you don't, you're probably skipping this section. But Ghostricks were the little cute Halloween-themed archetype that came out in Shadow Spectres. I first was attracted to this archetype when I saw that they had a card called Ghostrick YukiOh. As you notice, that has the word YukiOh in there, and I thought, I've got to build this deck. It's got our team name, kind of, in her name. Obviously, it's based on the YukiOh, I know that. But, of course, they're adorable, and anyone who knows me knows I love anything that's adorable. They kind of reminded me very much of Madolches, which is never a bad thing, because I love Madolches to pieces. So this was a deck that I definitely knew I wanted to build. And next year, they're getting a cat girl. A cat girl. She's a cat and a girl, and it's cat girl. And yeah, of course that's next year. But I still like the deck now. I've been playing it for a bit. It's got really fun playstyle. I haven't really got much more to say on it. But next year, January I suppose, I am going to build a pure Ghostrick deck. I'll probably put a deck profile up on the new channel. Or I might just bring back to this one. Who knows? 3rd on my list is the January 1st ban list. Now, I'm not going to talk about this much, considering I've done an entire video on it. I'll just leave a link in the description to that. If you want to hear any of my opinions on it, it'll be on there. And before you say this is a GIF out, because it's next year this is happening, technically it is, but the ban was announced this year, and that was one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh things to happen this year. I was going to have the previous ban list on it, because I really like that ban list. I thought they did a good job, apart from the fact that dragons were still a thing. But this one, they've done an even better job on it. So this one just took the place of the last one. And just one thing I'm going to add to what I said in my other video. Magician Faith being back at 1 in Ghostricks. I'm just going to let you think about that for a little while. And number 2 on my list for Yu-Gi-Oh related things is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal anime. Now this could be on the anime list, you're right, but it's not. So it's here on the Yu-Gi-Oh list because it was my second favourite Yu-Gi-Oh related thing that happened this year. It's kind of a slow year for Yu-Gi-Oh really. Next year it's going to be pretty good because of all the support that's going to come out for other archetypes. So this year we didn't really add much. I think Zexal's better than both the original and GX. Yep, I don't care. People ask me, I say the original's my least favourite of the four. Whatever, I don't care. But probably not as good as 5Ds. No, it's not. I've watched like 100 or whatever, how many episodes there are in English. I'm watching it in English because I'm cool. Screw watching it in Japanese, I'll do that with all my other anime. I'm going to watch this one in English because it's in English. The voice acting is not terrible, it's actually pretty good. I think they've done a good job on it. So, it's a pretty good anime actually. A lot of people have just said, oh, it's terrible. First 13 episodes are pretty bad. Watch them, hate them, and then carry on watching when the story starts. It actually gets really good. It's still got a lot of slapstick comedy in it, I guess, because it is aimed at kids. But the story is actually really good. Tori is pretty cool. I know that's weird, but I really like her. She's cool. She's no Luna, but she's pretty cool. Now, all of you should know what the number one on this list is going to be for Yu-Gi-Oh! Related things. If you've watched anything on this channel, it should be pretty obvious at this point. And of course, I'm referring to Shiny Magician, or Slacker Magician, as you English folk like to call her. I haven't stopped calling her Shiny Magician, or Shiny Magician, as you've probably more likely heard me said. I can't actually remember how I said it. I think it was something like that. But Shiny Magician is awesome. I love playing level 1 decks, like Piper decks, Skull Servant, Moke, Cloudians, just anything with rank 1s is awesome. Level 1s is awesome. And they needed a good rank 1. And Shiny Magician is that good rank 1. I'm happy that they're also going to get a rank 1 Utopia soon, which is also pretty cool. And Dullahan, the Ghost Trick monster, he's an awesome rank 1 as well. But Shiny Magician is just amazing. The first time I used her when my opponent tried to BLS her, that moment then made Shiny Magician just the best. And she's awesome. She's got the coolest artwork ever and she's adorable. I don't care what you guys say. Shiny Magician for the win. Well, considering we just finished talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!, I think it's time to talk about Pokemon. Fifth on this list, Mega Kangaskhan. He's awesome. He's my favourite Mega from X and Y. Well, just my favourite Mega in general, to be honest. His ability is amazing. Oh, I should say her, shouldn't I? Suppose Kangaskhan can only be female. I think? Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Mega Kangaskhan's ability is amazing, being able to attack twice. Double Sucker Punch, double Earthquake, double Dizzy Punch. That's like a 60% chance to confuse there, well, two 30% chances I should say. So I suppose it's still only 30% chance, I guess. I don't really know how the maths works on that one, but I can't be bothered to work it out. But Mega Kangaskhan's amazing. I got Mega Kangaskhan before I beat the Elite Four in this game, because a friend traded me a Kangasknight, and I used it on the 7th, 8th gym and the Elite Four, and it just wrecked everyone. Because I wasn't using the starter, the Kanto starter through my playthrough, so I didn't have a Mega. I had Lucario, I suppose, but whatever. But Mega Kangaskhan, super fun. If you haven't, like, a lot of people hate Mega Kangaskhan because they play against it. Play with it. Play using it. It's fun. Trust me. What's really annoying is, on Pokemon Showdown, the place where I do most of my battling, because I haven't trained my team yet because I'm a lazy bum, they banned Mega Kangaskhan. Like, that's really lame. It's not that OP. There are better Megas. Mega Aggron is better than Mega Kangaskhan. But people can't fight it because everyone's a noob. Fourth on this list is our little team mascot, Piggy. He had to be mentioned on it somewhere. He's been our team mascot for well over a year now. He is Team YukiOh. If it wasn't for him, we'd still be called Zombicidal Maniacs, which we were in the first video that he was ever in. So I'm always thankful to Piggy for just existing. Even if I don't use this channel anymore, Piggy will always still be here. He'll always travel around with me like he does. I always take him to locals. I took him to VGCs. I took him to YCS and Comic-Con, wherever I go that has anything like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon or whatever related, Piggy is going to be there. He will always, Team YukiOh will continue to exist, just maybe not as a channel. Who knows? We'll see. That's all stuff for the future.
We're here with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Openings, and we have a special guest today. It's Piggy. Look at the Piggy. Piggy. We have Piggy. He's a new member of Zombicidal Maniacs. He is with us for this whole opening.
And speaking of VGCs, that's third place on this list. Me and Sam went up to the VGCs, or Video Game Championships, in case you don't know what it means, with Pokemon Black and White 2. Would have been around June, July time. I can't remember exactly. It might have been August, actually. I really can't remember when it was exactly. But that was definitely a fun experience. They changed the format this year for how it works. So instead of being a round of knockouts, whereas every year we've come before, we just got knocked out first round. Either our opponents got lucky or we just sucked. Like the one year where I had everything on my team weak to Earthquake. Awkward. But this year they decided to do Swiss. And it was amazing. We both lost our first round, as we always do. But then from there on out, we did really well. I actually went 5-4, like 5 wins and 4 losses, and I was in the top half of everyone from VGCs. Like all the competitors, even the people that had quit, that had just gone down the bottom. No one cares about them. There wasn't that many actually. YCF, a lot of people quit, but VGCs, no one. But yeah, I think I did really, really well. I didn't have any missed games either. I didn't like win any games because no one was there. I won all my games thanks to my awesome little Polytoad, or Trollontoad, as I was calling him. Everyone was so surprised at how they just couldn't kill him. People were like, I'm going to use... He actually survived 2 Thunderbolts from a Thunderous in rain. Because obviously my Polytoad is rain. My opponent had a Thunderous. He Thunderbolt on him twice and he lived. And that was not counting him using Protect. My little Trollontoad is a bulky guy. I love him. And he's going to be on my VGC's team again this year. And I'm going to be using Rain Team again. And I'm hopefully going to have better reports than what we had from last year. Number 2 on this list is a new feature in X and Y, which is the Wonder Trade. I love the Wonder Trade. It's so fun. When I first realised that it was on there, because I got to like 3rd or 4th gym and hadn't used any of these features on the bottom screen. I've just been ignoring it. But I found out that the Wonder Trade was on there, and I thought, I'll give that a go. That sounds like a bit of fun. And yes, it is very fun. Prepare to get a lot of bumblebees and whatever the hell the new little bug's called, caterpies and wheat. You're going to get a load of crap. You always will. But sometimes you get some really cool stuff. Like, I finished a lot of the Pokedex in X and Y thanks to Wonder Trade, which is awesome. So I'm always thankful for that. That's pretty cool. And it's really fun as well. Like, when you've got, nowadays, now that people have actually been playing the game for quite a while, almost everything you get on there is something that people have been breeding. People who are breeding for IVs are trying to get something with 5 IVs, so they're trading away things with 3 and 4 IVs. So if you want to train them, you've already got one started. I have a what's it called? Fletchling with perfect IVs in attack, HP, speed, and defense that I got traded over Wonder Trade. How amazing is that? If I just give that special defense, perfect IV spread, and I didn't even do anything to get it. I've been trading away ciphers, so loads of people are getting ciphers of perfect HP, attack, defense, and special defense, which, you know, that's fine. I'm taking ages to put speed onto it, but I'll get there eventually. So Wonder Trade is a genius idea, and that's the best thing about X and Y. Now, number 1 on this list, you would know if the videos ever got uploaded. A while ago, me and Declan did a Let's Play of Pokemon Emerald. Now, it took me forever to try and find all the video files because they just kept moving around. We did them on different computers, saved in different places. I'm still, to this day, missing one part of one episode, just the voice of one episode. And if I could find that, I would have uploaded the entire series. Fortunately, I haven't found it yet, and I don't know where it could possibly be. I'm hoping it's still on my computer somewhere, but if not, then you'll probably never see it. But to sum up what happened, I had an Azumarill on there called Yusei, and we got to the 2nd gym, did a bit of training, whatever, and we went against the gym leader, and I didn't realise what levels he had, and he wrecked us completely. And I thought, I left the Magikarp on my PC, and I was like, so all I've got left is a Magikarp. Great. So I started releasing everything, and then Azumarill came back to me. Now, all my years of playing Pokemon, I've been playing Pokemon Blue since the first year it came out in English. You know, I've played Pokemon since then, non-stop. Never had a break or anything like some people did, like they missed Ruby, Sapphire. No, I didn't do any of that nonsense. I played every generation, got them when they first came out. I've never had a Pokemon come back when you release it. Never seen it happen before. Didn't know it was a thing that could happen. Ever since then, Azumarill has been skyrocketing up my favourite Pokemon's list. He is in my top 6 Pokemon now, easily. When he used to be like down in the 200s, I never really thought about it. I was like, yeah, he's kind of cool, I guess. Don't really care. Absolutely love Azumarill now. And over the year, I've just grown more and more attached to Azumarill. I've been drawing pictures, as you can see on the screen right now, on my Draw Something Every Day challenge I've been doing. That's how many Azumarill related things there are on that challenge. Because Azumarill is just awesome. And then, to top it off, he goes and becomes Fairy type in this generation. So he's actually useful now. How amazing is that? He's the perfect counter to Mega Blaziken. If you hate Mega Blaziken as much as I do, it's got nothing on this. My friend actually put Poison Jab on his Mega Blaziken just to counter my Azumarill, because he can't do anything else against it. There's nothing you can do. Azumarill's just too awesome. So Azumarill, you earned the top spot, my favourite Pokemon related thing this year, and you earned it. Well, the logical jump from Pokemon will be to start talking about video games. The 5th game on my list is Project X Zone, or Project Cross Zone as it should actually be called. It's a pretty fun strategy game on the 3DS that is a crossover between Sega, Capcom, and Namco. It's really fun, actually. It's not like the best game of the year kind of material. I know a lot of people have reviewed it badly, but it is actually a lot of fun. If you like a lot of the characters from those game series, then you'll probably quite like it, just for gimmick factor, really. I'm normally not one who goes for gimmicks, but any game where I can play as Yuri Lowell, Ling Xiaoyu, and Frank West in the same team. Now, I'm sure most of you know, I love Tales of Vesperia. It's my favourite game. Xiaoyu is my favourite Tekken character. She was the least likely person I expected to be on here. And I adore Dead Rising. Always have done. Frank West is just awesome. Everyone knows that. All three of them in the same game? I mean, I feel spoiled, to be honest. I feel absolutely spoiled. And it's super fun, you know? It's funny as well. I do like the humour in it. It's not often games really come across as funny nowadays. I mean, I guess you get the odd joke or two, but I really like this, you know? So it's earned my 5th spot on video games for this year. Now, the 4th game on my list, well, I guess it's kind of 2 games. Pokemon White 2 and Pokemon X. Yeah, it's a bit of a cheap shot, but whatever. I wanted to put Pokemon X on the list, but it was meh. The actual game itself, the story, the new Pokemon, nothing really interested me that much, as you probably noticed from my Pokemon list. I love the Wonder Trading. Fairy types are pretty nice, you know, balance to the meta game. But I don't really care. Nothing X and Y was really that amazing. It was just kind of meh. You know, oh look, 3D graphics. Yeah, it looks pretty, but a pretty game doesn't make for a good game. Whereas Pokemon White 2 was an amazing game. The graphics look pretty shit, to be honest. When you were in battle and you saw every single pixel of your Pokemon, that's stupid. You shouldn't be able to do that. And obviously, they realised that they needed to update their graphics, hence the 3D game. But I can't explain it. The story of Black and White 2 is amazing. I love the story of Black and White, and I was really happy to see it continue in Black and White 2. The character designs were awesome. You know, the places you went to, they looked cool. I mean, I don't really want to say it looks cool because that's kind of X and Y looked cool. I think X and Y is a nice stepping stone in the right direction for Pokemon, but it's just not. It's not quite there yet. I think Black and White 2 were a really good send off for Pokemon. Although a lot of Pokemon fans really didn't like Black and White 2, and I don't know why, because I thought they were awesome. I mean, they were no Diamond and Pearl, they were no Gold and Silver, but what can you expect, really? Now, this one may surprise you a little bit, but the 3rd game on my list is Minecraft. You're thinking, Minecraft's been out for years, what are you doing, man? You must have played Minecraft. No. I mean, I played it once, or maybe twice before this year, but it was only this year that I really actually played it and, you know, really got into it. I think it might have come out on the Xbox last year, so I might have started playing it then. I can't remember, but it was from the Xbox one that I actually started playing it. Then I started playing it on the PC, and it's actually really fun. I suck at it. I'm terrible. All PC games, I'm terrible. But, of course Minecraft's fun. Everyone knows Minecraft's fun, and if they don't, they're stupid. Obviously, you have no imagination. I'm a pretty creative person. That was the chaviest thing I've ever said. But, regardless, I'll talk more about this later, as it has a lot to do with YouTube. Now, number 2 on this list is a returning entrant. That's right, it's Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I believe this won last year, and it's only 2nd this year, so you know the next game's going to be good. But I've been playing Tekken Tag 2 all year. Just like last year, I only got it near the end of the year, and it still made my top list. This year, of course it was going to make my top list. It's the best Tekken game. Tekken 5 was always my favourite. I love Tekken 5. Tekken 6 was good. You know, Tekken 5 was always it for me. I always said, there's nothing ever going to top it. I said on the list last year, Tekken Tag 2 really has gone above and beyond all other Tekken games. It's balanced, it's fun, it's got more characters, and the characters aren't clones of each other. Eddie, Christy, and Tiger all have different movesets. That's crazy. I don't like playing as any of them, but that's not the point. You never really know, like, the thing that we always do is we have when I'm playing with my friends, we always have an 8-team battle. We pick 8 players for our team. Sometimes it's random, sometimes we pick them. But it's always fun. I can't say anything more. It's a video game, it's fun. My best characters in it are definitely Steve and Slim Bob. But I suppose Eliza's first down? No. Tekken Lord Eliza. It's the first time I've Tekken Lord their character since Tekken 5 as well. But I also really love playing Xiaoyu. I think Tekken 6 I started playing well as Xiaoyu. Before that I was really bad. But on this game I have got really bad as Asuka though. That's a bit of a shame. I don't really care. my Steve and Slim Bob tag team. It's unbeatable, man. That's a challenge. Any of you out there have an Xbox 360, a copy of Tekken Tag 2, challenge me to a battle. Bet I'll beat you. And here it is, my favourite video game of the year. You might not have even heard of it, but it did actually come out this year, so at least give me some credit for that. Virtue's Last Reward. Now, while I was waiting for Pokemon X and Y to come out, I decided I needed a game on my 3DS. And I'd already got Animal Crossing, but I wanted something else that wasn't just Animal Crossing. And I saw this on the marketplace for like £15 or something. It might have been on a deal, I don't really know. But I thought it looked pretty fun. I played the demo and it was pretty fun, so I downloaded it. Wow. Okay, the gameplay, pretty simplistic. You're in a room, you got to escape. As I'm sure you've noticed by now from like what's on my favourite books list or whatever, I like escapism, the idea, Hunger Games, stuff like that. But this is kind of the same similar theme to that. But there are like 9 people locked in a place and they're trying to work out what's going on, why they're here, how to get out. You've got to work out the puzzles in the room. It's like a huge mystery case. And it's amazing. The way the story is told in this, you play out each different timeline where you either choose to betray or ally with each of the different people. It's just done really well. There's like different endings, loads of different endings, like 18, 19 different endings. And like certain things you learn from each path helps you in another part. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you have a 3DS and you don't have Virtue's Last Reward, what are you doing? The Virtue's Last Reward is actually a sequel to a game, which I had no idea until I nearly finished the game, where I started mentioning the last one, which is a game called 999, or 9 Doors, 9 Hours, 9 Persons, I think is the correct name of it, but I just always call it 999. I've got that on the DS now. It's pretty fun. But the problem with that one is you have to restart the story every time rather than just skipping to one point, which they've got right with Virtue's Last Reward. You can just skip back to a point if you want to change your outcome or whatever. So they mention it a lot, but you don't actually have to have played it to get the story. It's completely fine. I've done barely anything on 999, and I completely know what's going on at all times. So it's just play Virtue's Last Reward. It's too good not to play. Next up, it's the top 5 YouTubers. Number 5 on my list is Pro Jared. I'm sure most of you already know most of you are going to know who most of these people are, to be perfectly honest. But Pro Jared is a game reviewer here on YouTube. There's a lot of them, obviously. And he does kind of Let's Play stuff as well. His more notable ones are his Nuzlocke runs, which you're probably thinking, if you don't know who he is, everyone does these things. What's so special about this guy? It's a very good question, actually. He's great though. I mean, I'm not the only person who says this. His 1-minute reviews are actually some of the best, if not the best, reviews on YouTube. I've actually, in most situations, if there's a game I know about that he's done a review on, I'll watch his 1-minute review before getting the game. The only time I've ever gone against his suggestion was Project Cross Zone, actually, because he didn't give it such a great review, which is fair enough. I can understand why you wouldn't, but I quite enjoy it. So each to their own. Most of the time, his review is solid. It's spot on. It's factual. It's usually not biased, except in the case of Monster Hunter. But everyone's got their little kinks. And his Nuzlocke runs, he's pretty famous for those as well. I'm sure if you've ever heard of the term Nuptup, referred to as a Vileplume if you're a Pokemon fan, you might not even know where that comes from. Well, there we go. Now you know. Nuptup was Pro Jared's Vileplume, or the Destroyer of Worlds and Eater of Souls, other things along those lines. And I'm pretty sure I got Nuptup fever, just as much as everyone else, Nuptup was cool. It was the way he did it. It was subliminal messaging. Every time he said the word Nuptup, he put a picture of Nuptup on the screen and had his name just flash up for a second. Without knowing it, everyone just fell in love with him. Pro Jared, you're a genius. I just want to say, absolute genius. I'm on to you, though. I also want to give a shout out here to the Game Squad, which is actually something that, what's his name? Space Hamster? I want to say Space Hamster. Pretty sure it is doing on his channel, but it involves Space Hamster, Pro Jared, PBG, and Brutal Moose. The 4 of them pretty much just playing like multiplayer. At the moment, they're playing Cube World. Is it Cube World? Pretty sure it is. But that's pretty fun and pretty funny as well. It's kind of like PBG's hardcore series is, which are awesome, except without the hardcore bit. So they'll just keep playing it until they don't want to play it anymore. But doing adventure. Let's go. Fourth on my list is Team YukiOh. Yes, I've done it again. I put my own channel on my list of favourite YouTubers, but as this is the last year I'm going to be using this channel, it should get the proper send-off it deserves. Team YukiOh's the channel has been, an important part of my life for quite a long time now. Back when it was Zombie Saddle Maniacs, and still to this day, I've met people for it. I've got, subscribers and people who like my videos. My Galaxy Ice Photon video, Jesus Christ, it's got like 8,000 and something views. I never thought I'd get that many views on any video. And it's got like 17,000 hours watched. I actually transferred that into days, and it's over 20 days solid and 20 hours of watching. Was it 20 days or was it 14? Can't actually remember now. But it was a long time. And the fact that someone has watched content I've made and probably enjoyed it, at least hopefully, for that long, them feels and all that, I'm quite happy with that. I'm pretty proud of how far this channel's come. While my friend Reese or the Titanova might have been able to do it in a lot shorter time, have, more loyal subscribers and whatever, I'm proud of what I've accomplished with this channel, and I'm hoping that with the Yukiverse I can accomplish even more. Me and Reese and Sam all together are going to try our hardest with that channel, so I look forward to what we've got coming. Next on my list, at number 3, is Ashens, or Ashen. I'm confused about the S. But Ashens is, I guess, a tat reviewer is the best way you could say it. He gets stuff from Poundland and other pound and dollar shops or whatever. People send him stuff, and he just reviews it and tells you how bad it is, lets you see how horrible it looks, how much it doesn't work, how horrible it tastes. He reviews food as well. And he's got a great sense of humour. Ever since my friend Declan introduced me to him, he said, this guy here's got the same sense of humour as you. And I was like, I very much doubt it. He really does. And I'm so glad I found him. He's got to be one of my favourite YouTubers now. And while on the topic of Ashens, the Multiverse, which is a channel he is closely associated with, and him, did a movie together called Ashens on the Quest for the Game Child. That was probably one of the best movies I've seen all year, to be perfectly honest. I haven't seen many movies this year, but even so, it was a really good movie. And obviously it was a straight-to-YouTube movie. You didn't have to pay for it. It's a free movie. Come on. It's awesome anyway. But, yeah, the movie was awesome. I was also pretty happy that I got introduced to the Multiverse, because there's a show they do on there called Knighthood and Decoy, which is based on British superheroes. And it's really funny, actually. It's a really funny show. The best superheroes in the world, because they're real superheroes, They protect London and probably do a good job. Yeah, definitely. So Ashens / the Multiverse is in this place here. And number 2 on this list also goes to 2 people. I know I'm cheating, but hear me out, there's a reason for this. Skydoes Minecraft and Bayesian Canadian. Right, now this is where the bit I was talking about earlier about Minecraft, it's where it comes into it. Skydoes Minecraft, I can't remember how I found him, but I stumbled across one of his videos one day. I watched it and thought, you know what, this guy's funny, I like him. So I started watching more and then ended up being a subscriber, or part of the Sky Army, as they say. He introduced me to the fact that Minecraft on YouTube is a very big thing. And Minecraft as a game is not just as vanilla as I thought it was. There is a lot to this game, well, that game I should say, that I didn't know about. And I was quite happy to be opened up to the world of possibilities that is Minecraft. You'd think I must be living under a rock all this years to not have known this, but I really didn't know. And it was thanks to Sky that I also got introduced to Bayesian Canadian, who's probably my favourite Minetuber. Is that a term? If it's not a term, I'm coining it as a term. He does this Hunger Games series on Minecraft. Again, you probably know it, but I say that, none of my friends know who these people are, so whatever. The fact that there's a Hunger Games, which I love, as you all know, on Minecraft, it baffled me at first, and then it's the funnest thing to play, it's the funnest thing to watch. I've watched every single episode that Bayesian Canadian has put up of the Hunger Games. I think maybe I missed the first 20 or 30, because I didn't see him. I couldn't find him anywhere, but I've watched almost every episode, let's say, and it's really fun. Him and ASF Jerome, or the Benjamin Buck, as they like to be called. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They're pretty awesome guys, so I haven't really got much more to say on that. Although I do want to give a shout out here to Sky. He did a song parody of, I think it was something by Coldplay. It was a New World. It's actually really good. I really like the song. I mean, the lyrics could have been improved a little bit, but whatever. I was about to say I'm not a songwriter. I guess technically I am, but maybe that's just me being a songwriter talking. He actually has a really good voice for singing, like better than say the Dual Police or other people on YouTube who sing, except people I might mention later. Foreshadowing. But that song didn't make it onto my top list of 5 songs this year, so I wanted to give it a shout out here while we were talking about him. And finally, number 1 on my list of YouTubers for the year is the Game Grumps. Everyone knows the Game Grumps. Right, now, I only started watching them this year. I had never seen a Game Grumps video before this year, which may seem slightly blasphemous to a lot of people, but it's true, just putting that one out there. I first went to Game Grumps because of JonTron, to be perfectly honest. I really like JonTron stuff that he done, or does. I'm going to say done. Past tense is probably safer. So when I found out he was on the Game Grumps, I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. Then found out that Aaron, the other person he does it with, was actually Egoraptor, which I had no idea. Which I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. I like Egoraptor. He's a pretty cool guy. So I got really into the Game Grumps. And then, of course, as most of you know, John ended up leaving halfway through the year, which at first I was like, the only reason I was really here was because of John, so I didn't watch any of the new stuff that they did. One day I noticed I was still subscribed to him, and I just thought, you know what, I haven't got anything else on YouTube to watch, because at that point I wasn't really subscribed to that many people. This is before I started watching Minecraft stuff. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give that new guy a go. I'm going to give that new Game Grump a go. See what he's like. And he's hilarious. Danny's awesome. And I felt really bad for the fact that, when he first came on, I thought, I wasn't one of the people that was all like hating on him. I thought, it's John's decision to leave. I can't blame Aaron for replacing him. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll unsubscribe or whatever, but actually I don't think I did. Well, obviously I didn't. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. And they've got Rubber Ross on Steam Train, which is awesome, because he's a pretty cool guy as well. I don't actually watch Steam Train because I don't have the time. Now I'm subscribed to too many YouTubers. But I know he's a funny guy. I've been watching their Christmas stuff, actually, because no one's uploading videos over Christmas, and I have more free time, because I'm not doing any college stuff. So, yeah. But Game Grumps definitely deserves the top spot for YouTube this year. They've made me laugh more times than anyone else has, and at the end of the day, isn't that what really counts? Just so you know, this was the hardest one to work out a top 5. Look at the list of people that didn't quite make it on there. All of them were in the competition for the top 5. If you stuck it out this long, well done. The video's nearly over. And now to my second to last list, top 5 songs. I haven't really got much to say about any of them. I wish I could play part of the music to show you how awesome it is, but I don't want to get sued. So I'm not going to. I'll leave a link in the description to every song that's on this list, so go check them out. Number 5 on my list I stumbled across by accident, which is Whistle While I Work It by Chester C. It features Tobuscus in it, which is how I found out about it, and someone called Wayne Brady. I don't know who that is. But it's not really my kind of music, perfectly honest, but it's a really catchy song, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, number 4 on my list is a real golden oldie. It's the song Torn by Natalie Imbruglia. Now, I've been listening to the song all year for some reason. I don't know why. I'm well aware. It's really old, and I've heard it before. It's not like it's the first time I've ever heard it. It's just been stuck in my head for the majority of this year. It's a good song, so can't exactly blame me. Third song on my list is Miku. No, not a song by Miku, a song called Miku, sung by the Leet Street Boys. Pretty sure they were on my list last year with She's So Kawaii, but I can't remember if that was actually there or not. But it's a really good song, it's really catchy, and they sung it this year about Miku Hatsune, obviously. There's not actually a song on this list this year by Miku, so that's a first for everything, eh? Rushing on to number 2 is a song called Sigh Away, which is a mashup of Fly Away, which is a theme from the anime Panty & Stockings, I guess. I've never watched it, so I wouldn't know. And Gangnam Style by Psy, obviously. It's awesome. I didn't even know one of the 2 songs, and I still fell in love with this song. It's by Triple Q or Triple Kyun, either name he goes by. But he's a guy on YouTube who does mashups of songs. And obviously he really likes Psy because he's done a lot of mashups with Psy songs. But they're really cool, actually. You should check them out. Sorry, I'm cheating again. I have 2 songs as the top song of the year. Innocence and Overfly. Both the English covers sung by Amalie, or Amanda Lee, as is their actual name. I couldn't choose between them. They both came out this year. I know last year Crossing Field was on my list. Should have been way higher than where it was. But it definitely deserved its place on the list. These two, my god, do they deserve the top spot more than anything. But yeah, I couldn't choose between the two songs. I had to make them both top, sorry. I didn't want to put two on different places on the list, or they would have just been first and second, and that would have been no fun. And finally, is my top 5 anime of the year. Coming in at number 5 is Lucky Star. Now, this one only just made it on the list, even though it's my favourite anime of all time. But obviously, I've rewatched this hundreds of times, and I did several times this year. I didn't watch much anime this year. The 5th place here really should have gone to Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, but it was on my Yu-Gi-Oh! List, so I put Lucky Star here because I love Lucky Star. And even though it's my favourite anime of all time, and it's only 5th, don't start with that. I know what you did last year on that list. You were telling how stupid I was. Yeah, I was stupid, but there's a reason this is 5th. It's because I've already seen it loads of times before, and I want to talk about new anime. Earning the 4th place spot is Future Diary. Now, I'm pretty sure this came out this year, but don't quote me on that. Future Diary is kind of like the Hunger Games, I guess, where there's like 12 contestants instead of 24, and they're all in a death match, and the last one wins, except for the winner becomes God, and they can all read the future. So, very different from the Hunger Games. But it's kind of got the same feel to it, you know, the whole survival games thing. It's even called survival games. It's actually pretty awesome, to say the least. So, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Although, this has only earned my 4th place because one of the main characters, really creeps me out. Like, I guess my phobia of knives doesn't really help. But, ugh. 3rd place, Summer Wars. An anime movie made a long time ago that I only just got around to watching this year. It's made by the same people that made The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which was an awesome movie, and an awesome book, and an awesome manga. It was just awesome all round. So when I heard it was made by the same people, there was no way I wasn't going to watch it. And it was actually really good. Like, really good. I couldn't tell you I could tell you how good it is. I just did. But I would recommend checking it out for yourself. It's about, like, how social networking could turn out in the future, I guess, is one way of putting it. But it doesn't really tell you much about the film. It's hard to explain, you just really have to watch it. It's like this one guy who ends up spending his holiday with this entire giant family, and then there are these terrorist people, and just watch it. It's like 2 hours long. You're not going to miss the hours of day. In fact, you will really enjoy yourself because it's an amazing movie. Now, you all should have seen number 2 coming, and that's Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online is just amazing. If you haven't seen it, why not? What are you doing? It's Sword Art Online, come on, everyone's seen Sword Art Online. It's like the best anime of the year. Well, it got a lot of rivalry, but it's up there for the best anime of the year. So yeah, I really don't need to explain anything about Sword Art Online. It's based on an RPG, people get stuck in it, and that's all I have to say. Now, the number 1 spot does not go to what you might be expecting. Most of you probably think it's going to be Log Horizon or Attack on Titans. I haven't watched either of those. Yep, guilty as charged. Not seen them. Don't really care. Might see them one day, whatever. But my number 1 spot goes to a probably pretty unheard of anime. Danganronpa. Pretty sure this came out this year as well. Again, don't quote me on that. But it's based on a game, or is it a visual novel? One of the two. Maybe both. Maybe there was both of them. But Danganronpa is essentially these 12 kids, or 11 kids. 12 kids get 16. 12 is the number of Future Diary. 16 kids gets locked inside this school and are pretty much forced to either live there or kill each other to get out. And they have to do these like trials to work out who killed who. Like if someone kills someone, then everyone else does a trial, and then if the murderer gets away with it, then they get to leave and everyone else dies. But if the murderer gets pinned up for it, then the murderer gets killed and everyone else gets to carry on living. And it's very similar to Virtue's Last Reward, actually, which is why I think I love it so much. But it's also like anime style, so it's all about high school, of course, because all anime is about school, right? Except Sword Art Online, I suppose. I guess they were school kids, school age. They mentioned school once or twice, it's fine, it counts. But yeah, my top anime of the year, Danganronpa. I'd recommend it more than anything else on my list, except maybe like Game Grumps, but you've already all seen that. And that's it. That's my top 5, top 7 list, I suppose, of everything 2013. Hope you've all enjoyed. If you actually stuck it through, well done. And I guess this is Joe of Team YukiOh, or Yuki of Team YukiOh, or the Zombie Maniacs, whatever you've come to know us as. Guess it's us signing out for the last time. So, all of you subscribers, if you want to see more content, please come join us at the Yukiverse. I really want you there, man. Or woman. Man or woman. I don't mean sexist, I mean man as in person. Or non-person. If you're not human, still want you to subscribe to us. So come check out the Yukiverse. Be greatly appreciated. And I hope to see you there. See you later, YouTube.